Hey everyone, welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss whether or not we could or should see a legacy character from the Scream franchise be the opening kill in Scream 7. I'll share my thoughts on the idea in general, and also we'll look at a list of legacy characters that could be chosen as the opening kill. So, put your thinking hats on because we're about to dive in right now. Let's go!
It's David Arquette, Dewey from the Scream movies, as you know. Remember, there's only one rule to surviving a horror movie, and that's subscribing to Craven Something Scary.
So the question is, should a franchise legacy character be the opening kill in Scream 7? That's what we got to figure out. Now, before we can answer that though, we must first look at what legacy characters could potentially be the opening kill. Now, this is rumored to be the start of a new trilogy featuring Sidney Prescott. It's a rumor, but if that's true, it is not absurd to think that they are going to kick things off with a bang by killing a legacy character and establishing in this new trilogy right away, right up from the front, that the stakes are back. The stakes are high again. Now, with everyone surviving in Scream 6, obviously that factor is not existent right now because no one died in 6 of significance. So with that in mind, here are my top 4 opening kill legacy candidates. And the first one I'll talk about is Kirby Reed. Now keep in mind, we don't have an official cast list at this point, so we don't even know if Hayden Panettiere is going to be coming back to be Kirby or not. We don't know. But since we don't know, we can theorize and we can go crazy with it because it could be either way. So in this case, Kirby Reed, let's say if she is coming back, this could be an opening kill that would set the tone. And I was glad that she did not die in Scream 6. One of my concerns for Scream 6 was that they were going to bring Kirby back only to kill her in her first movie back. But they didn't do that. So now that she was able to survive and she, was in one full Scream movie again, I think she's fair game now at this point. So Kirby Reed could definitely be an opening kill that would hurt us, the legacy fans, especially those of us who really love Scream 4, which I'm one of those people. And even if you're not one of those people that love Scream 4, Kirby Reed was a great character in 4, and then I've heard that, like, even from people that don't say it's their favorite movie, they still liked her character. So I think there's a broad consensus, at least, that Kirby Reed is a beloved character from Scream 4. And of course, in Scream 6, she returned as an FBI agent investigating Ghostface attacks. Well, anyway, when it comes to which, again, it's interesting. You could do a lot of things with that, with Ghostface attacks going on across the country. But for now, we'll just say Kirby Reed. I think that what impact would it have if she was killed as in the opening 10, 15, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. And I think it could be a significant opening because it would show us that even legacy characters are at risk of dying in this movie. And also, like I say, it would sting. It would hurt. It would like hit you in the gut a little bit because of the affinity for Kirby Reed that seems to be so prevalent. So anyway, that's my first candidate for an opening kill, a legacy candidate, that is. And the next one is one that, again, we're still waiting to hear on all of these people, so I won't keep saying that, but I'm going under the assumption that these people will be in the movie, or possibly at least be in the movie. And so this next person is, of course, Mark Kincaid. So yes, if Patrick Dempsey does come in to reprise his role from Scream 3, and he's Sidney's husband, father of her kids, and it would be a shocking way to start Scream 7, because I don't believe any of us, for the most part, would expect to see Mark Kincaid killed in the opening of the movie. And it would be so tragic for Sid losing her husband and the father of her children. So there's a lot of things that you could play off of that. If they did kill Mark Kincaid, it would, it could totally send Sidney into this old school Sidney Prescott, like from Scream 4. Remember Scream 4, how she was completely on fire to catch Ghostface? I still remember how great that the Olivia kill is, when she's across the street and she's in there with Jill and sees her getting attacked, and she just runs out of that house, no weapon in hand. She is running full force right into the hurricane called Ghostface. And she was up there because she was just fed up with it. She was completely filled with adrenaline and determination, and that she was going to take Ghostface down with her own hands. And I love that. I just love that about her in 4. And I could totally see that style of Sidney Prescott, if you will, from the movies. That version of Sidney, even though she is, of course, older, wiser, baby. But still, I think losing Mark in the opening of this movie, it would put her into that type of mode, and she would be kicking rear end, okay, kicking tail. So to me, it would be a shame to kill him in the opening, and that's not what I want. Just got to keep that in mind when I'm going through these folks, these candidates. It's not necessarily that I want this to happen, but it's just that I'm looking at what I think are the most possible and likely candidates if there were to be a legacy killing in the beginning. So I don't want Mark to die in the beginning. I want him to be there for the entire movie. That's me personally. But if it does start with killing him off, then wow, what a tone setter and a shocker that would be for, to me at least, and I think to a lot of people. So that's what I'm thinking about Mark Kincaid. They could do it. You never know. He may say, "Hey, I'll come back, but I want to die in the opening. It's the only way I'm going to come back." And so they made, you just never know what goes into these decisions. Sometimes the actors have a lot to do with it. So anyway, Kirby Reed, Mark Kincaid, real possibilities for a legacy character opening kill. And the next one, number 3, is of course Gale Weathers. Gale has escaped the thrones of death so many times. I mean, Scream 6, for example, it was like I was almost sure that they were killing her in 6. It was like they killed Dewey in 5. Shame on you. And then I'm like, okay, they're going to kill Gale in 6. They're just going to systematically take out these legacy characters. And sure enough, Gale survived. She had a weak pulse after the attack in her apartment. So they never said she was dead. So I'm assuming she's alive still. And she could definitely be, I think she's definitely at risk in Scream 7 for getting killed. But, it would shock some people. It wouldn't shock me necessarily, but I would hate to see it. Gale and Sidney, of course, Sidney's bulletproof. I don't think Sidney would even come back to a Scream film to die. I just don't see it. So she's the only person right now in this movie. Of course, we haven't seen the cast list, but she's the only one I can feel safe to say going into Scream 7, that's 100% safe. But I think Gail is absolutely has potential to die in this movie. And if you start the movie off with her having being the opening kill, oh my gosh, that would completely shake the franchise up, and it would shake up the whole plot of the story, I'm sure. So I could see this being a possibility, but again, I don't personally believe they'll kill Gail off in the opening. If Gail does die in this movie, I see it being a third act towards the end, the finale, and she dies there. That I could see happening more likely than the opening kill. But again, you just never know, and you can never be too sure that you've got it figured out, because there's so many times that they turn things upside down on us. So Gail Weathers, possible opening kill. It would be a surprise to me that it happened in the opening. It would not be a surprise that she gets killed in the movie if they make that call. And again, I hope they don't. I really don't. I'd love to see Gail continue on to Scream 8 with Sidney, and continue on from there. So hopefully not. But anyway, it's got to be talked about, because I think it's very much plausible, or it's very plausible, goodness, that it could happen. All right, guys, the final candidate now, and we'll wrap up this video, is actually a pair of people. And yes, I am talking about Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin. So this is a scenario where there's a very good chance, I'll say this up front, there's a very good chance the Meeks twins will not even be in this movie. And it's very possible, from what the rumor mill is, again, grain of salt, but if indeed this is more of a direct sequel to 4, then there's a very good chance there'll be no mention of the Carpenters or Chad and Mindy, any of those characters from 5 and 6. They just completely ignore them, and 5 and 6 will be their own entries in the franchise, but will not necessarily be acknowledged nor considered in the plot line for Scream 7. But I'll put them in anyway, because it would be one way to connect 7 with 6, because you have 2 characters there at the beginning, and I could see them like being outside of a coffee shop or something, and Ghostface, in it one evening, and Ghostface comes and attacks them both, or what have you, and then they're gone. They're both killed at the same scene, and that's the end of the Meeks twins. They have a connective thread to 6 and 5. The movie does, 7 does, but they kill off those 2 characters, and that's that. And so again, if indeed the Meeks twins are in this movie, I do fully expect them to die. I do. I really do. That's my expectation. If I see them, I'm like, okay, they're dead meat in this one. And if it's not the opening kill, it'll be at some point in the movie. That's my prediction. But anyway, guys, that's what I've been thinking about for opening kills, potentially for Scream 7, from a legacy character perspective only. Just like, if it's going to be a legacy character, who's it going to be? Well, these are the folks that I think are most likely to be the candidates for it. All right. Well, now I want to know what you think about the idea of a legacy character being brought back and then killed in the opening of the movie. I want to know what do you think about it? Do you like it? What are your ideas? Do you have any theories on an opening kill that you would like to see, for us, who it might be? Let me know. Leave your comments below right now in the comments section so we can discuss it together. And I love reading your ideas and your theories. So again, I always say this, guys, you have a voice here but you only have a voice if you use it by leaving comments. If you don't leave a comment, I don't know what you're thinking. I have no clue. And you're not using your voice. So do it. Use it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Well, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream 7 and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.